curious about what life is like in Tampa, Florida? Well, that's probably why you're watching this video. So I want to go over in this video everything you could possibly want to know about being here. So this is going to be your #1 resource for all information about what it's like to live in Tampa. We'll talk about schools, restaurants, cost of living. We'll talk about healthcare, traffic, and some of the other stuff as well. Be sure to watch to the end so you can take everything in and get some local insider information as a resident of 19 years from the UK. Hi guys, welcome to the channel where you'll find local information, both real estate and non-real estate, about living in Tampa and the greater Tampa Bay area, with a focus on the suburbs of Spring Hill, Brooksville, and Wesley Chapel. Now, I've been helping people move to Tampa Bay for the last 19 years, around about 200 families a year, so I know a thing or two about it, and I'm going to give you all my information today and try and make this the only video that you need to watch. So let's dive right in. Now first, let's talk about location. Tampa Bay is located pretty much in central Florida. It's just east of Clearwater and St. Pete. Now, chances are you've heard of Clearwater Beach. It's one of the best beaches in the country. And not only that, Tampa Airport is constantly ranked as one of the best domestic airports in the country as well for ease of use. Now, it's about an hour and 15 minutes southwest of Orlando, if that's a good reference point for you. But just think about it as being central to the state, almost on the West Coast. Good enough? All right, let's talk about some more stuff. Now, having lived just outside of Tampa for the last 19 years, I will tell you that Tampa is really one of my favorite cities of all the places I've been to in the US. No matter where I go and visit for work or for vacation, I always love coming back to Tampa. And even though I don't live in Tampa, I constantly find myself going down there to visit and take advantage of the amenities, the restaurants, and the things to do down there. It really kind of has that great hustle and bustle feel. I love some of the older style homes down there. The dining options are delectable, and it's just a great all-around place to be. But the nice thing is that there are always emerging new neighborhoods like Seminole Heights that have gone through real transitions and are really kind of cool, funky vibe places now, as well as some sleepy little areas that you might not know about if you're just kind of whizzing through there. But with its proximity to beaches, you don't even have to vacation, you can staycation. I mean, Clearwater and St. Pete beaches are literally 15-20 minutes away, so why not take advantage of that? All in all, I love being a resident of the greater Tampa Bay area, and I have a pretty good feeling that you guys would too. Now, Tampa was incorporated as a city in about 1887, and it's located in Hillsborough County. It has a population of about 410,000 people at this point. Although the greater Tampa metro area, which takes into account Sarasota, St. Pete, Clearwater, and those areas, is around about just over 3 million people. So yeah, it has a large population, but Tampa itself has kind of a small city vibe to it, if that makes sense. If you've been here, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, the biggest industries are IT, financial, healthcare, and then because we have MacDill Air Force Base with CENTCOM and SOCOM projects, also military stuff. So some really, really great things there. And over the last 10-15 years especially, we've seen a real influx of financing services and IT moving into the Tampa Bay area, which has just kind of blown the jobs market wide open. So that's really, really cool and definitely something to look into if that's your bag and that's your field of expertise. Now, Tampa's well known for its diverse population, it's well known for its kind of small city feel, and it's also known for its kick-ass sports teams. We're right off the back of the Tom Brady era in Tampa here. Super Bowl, anyone? Tampa Bay Lightning, by the way, have won a couple of Stanley Cups. We've got the Rays, who have had great success in the baseball realm. And even if you're a soccer fan, which I'm English, you know I am, the Tampa Bay Rowdies, which are a throwback from the 70s, but are such a great team to go and watch. It's a real family event. You can go on the field sometimes after the games, and the players are so awesome about interacting with the fans. And the great thing is that none of this is expensive. A lot of the Tampa teams are among the least expensive in the league to watch. And guess what it's also known for as well? I've already mentioned it, and I'll continue to. It's the proximity to the beaches. So postcard pictures of miles of white sand and blue sea. That's the beaches of Clearwater, St. Pete, Reddington, so they're right on our doorstep. Now, talking more generally, Tampa Bay comes in as a cost of living about 1% above the national average. Worth noting that it was about 4% below the national average a year ago, so we are seeing that climb up in the rankings a little bit, but for all that you get in the city to be around about at a parity with the national average, I think that's pretty good value for money. Now, two of the things that obviously help here are the fact that there's no personal state income tax. That's a big break there. And then also healthcare is about 20% less than the national average as well. Now, the median age in Tampa is 35 years old, so that's one of the younger areas, but remember, it's a university town, USF is here, and then the median household income is about $72,000, so that's just above the state average of about $68,000, $69,000. Now, talking about recreation and parks, and Tampa really thrives in this area. So I went on the website to verify this, but it says there's 194 parks in Tampa, and they offer just about everything. So some offer beach access. They offer hiking trails, biking trails. They have tennis courts, pickleball courts, soccer fields, softball fields. They have picnic pavilions. They have kids' playgrounds, they have fishing ponds. So pretty much everything you could be looking for. And Tampa's also located really close to some great state parks as well, if you like hiking and camping. So definitely they have you covered for that. And then if you want to get back into civilization a little bit, they have the Straz Performing Arts Center. They have Tampa Theater, where they put on some awesome productions. I've loved every single one that I've been to. They always have great concerts here at Raymond James and some of the other locations. They've got the Hard Rock Casino, if that's more your thing. And then they have famous restaurants like the extremely famous Burns Steakhouse, or you can go check out the historic Ybor City, which is the birthplace of the Cuban sandwich. So plenty to do in Tampa. It would take me hours to go through it all in this video. Hit us up for our favorites. We'd love to share more of them with you. Okay guys, if you're finding this video useful, then please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notifications button to get updated about new videos we release about Tampa and the surrounding suburbs, and be sure to leave comments on this video. I love hearing feedback from people like you. As you probably already know, I'm a real estate agent. I help over 200 families a year relocate to the Tampa Bay area. So if you have any questions or want to know more information about what it's like here and get a list of homes in your preferred areas at price point, be sure to hit us up at the information below. I don't want to talk a whole bunch about it. Let's dive right back into the video. Okay guys, now if you've got kiddos around or you're planning on having them in the next few years, you're going to want to know about the school system, right? Well, Tampa is served by the Hillsborough County school system, and depending on where you are in Tampa is going to depend on what the schools are like. So I don't want to get ultra specific on this video. There's a whole host of great resources online, like great schools, like niche. So be sure to check those out for specific areas and specific levels of school, like elementary, middle, high, public, charter, private. You'll get more information than you could ever hope to sift through on there. Overall, I will say the schools are rated very, very highly. But if you're looking at somewhere like Seminole Heights, the average is going to be a 5 or a 6, compared to somewhere like Hyde Park or South Howard, where it's going to be an average of a 9 or 10. So be sure to check out specific areas like I mentioned. And also Tampa is home to USF, University of South Florida, Tampa. So great university town, very highly regarded university. So please be sure to check out information about that online as well. A whole bunch of my friends went there and had a great experience with it. Okay, so if all of this sounds great to you so far, you might be wondering about what the homes are like in Tampa. And I've got you covered there. I know more information about that than I ever would want to share with you on this video because it excites me. I know it doesn't excite you guys very much when I ramble on about it. However, taking a look at it from a grand 30,000 foot view, the average price in Tampa of a single family home is about $417,000, 417. And the prices over the last couple of years have been going up much more slowly, so about 4.5% last year. Now it's worth noting that Tampa was basically the hottest market in Florida, if not the entire country, during the pandemic boom, and we saw about a 60% increase in pricing. So whereas it was super affordable before, it's a little bit less affordable now. But you can say that about pretty much anywhere in the country at this point. Now, for the most part, you're going to find homes in the more traditional style. There are some Florida cracker type properties, and then certain areas like Hyde Park, South Howard, you're going to see a little bit of a Mediterranean influence there as well. All in all, I love the homes in Tampa. There's so much variety. It's not just always your cookie cutter communities like you see in some of the suburbs. I love just driving around some of the streets sometimes and taking it all in. However, the one thing I will warn against is if you're looking for new construction, the opportunities in Tampa downtown are going to be somewhat limited. Yes, there are a ton of new communities being built in the suburbs, but typically in Tampa itself, you're looking at things being built on spot lots, so one-off homes here and there. Now, you don't have to go too far outside of Tampa to find more of those communities being built. I'm happy to give you our recommendations for what we consider to be the most popular ones, but just be aware if you're looking for new construction in Tampa, you're probably going to pay a little bit of a premium on those spot lots and have to buy your lot rather than have it rolled into the cost of the development. development. Most of the new construction is going to be a little bit to the north in Pasco County, in particular Wesley Chapel, or to the southeast like Brandon, Riverview area, and there's a whole host of great communities there, and builders are offering great incentives as well. So like I said, hit us up for more information. Now, let's talk a little bit about the jobs market. And the job market in Tampa is really kind of booming at the moment. As I alluded to earlier, the IT services, the financial and professional services have really seen a big influx over the last 10 years, not just to Tampa, but also to neighboring St. Pete and to a lesser degree, Clearwater. So if you're in those fields, you're likely to have a whole host of opportunities there. And then, like I said, the Air Force Base at MacDill means that if you're a government contractor or in the military service, there's going to be opportunities there as well. There have been a number of CENTCOM and SOCOM projects out of that place. And then of course it's Tampa, so don't forget the tourism and the retail as well. So really good jobs market in Tampa. I would encourage you to check out, again, websites like Indeed to see what the pay might be for your particular profession in the area. But you shouldn't be short of options should you decide to move here. Although, as always, I always recommend to people, make sure you get a job sorted out before you move here if possible. Now, moving on to safety, and Tampa's pretty much like any other medium-sized city when it comes to that, which means to say it's going to vary depending on the area. Now, again, I'm a real estate agent, so there are certain things I can and can't get into, but there are a whole host of great things you can check out online to get crime scores and stuff like that. The one that I normally use is Crime Grade, and overall it ranks Tampa as a C+. But again, it's broken down by area. So South Howard, Hyde Park, you've heard me talk about that already, is ranked an A. Some of the other areas are C's or D's, which lowers the average. But there are also some great gated communities towards the north end of Tampa. I'm thinking about places like Cheval, where they are guard gated as well. So find your level of comfort, do your research online, but Tampa is certainly no different than most medium-sized cities. Now let's talk about the entertainment and also the nightlife as well. And this is really where Tampa comes alive. So we already talked about the great outdoor options being so close to the water. I talked about the parks. I talked about watching the sports teams. Those are all great things that I love to do. But then you have also some other stuff as well. So Busch Gardens is such a great place. It's like a half zoo, half theme park. It's some of the best roller coasters in the country, in my opinion. Everybody that comes and visits me always wants to go there, and the kids love going there as well. So you're gonna wanna check that out. You also have Lowry Zoo, Tampa Zoo, which is a great zoo to go to. You have the aquarium right downtown. It's also a cruise port if you want to hop on a cruise, so great opportunities to escape there. Then you have fun stuff like the Gasparilla Parade. This is kind of like the Mardi Gras with pirates, and it's once a year. It's attended by about 1 million people, and the pirates invade Tampa Bay on boats and go through the city. It's a really awesome event. And then they have a dedicated children's Gasparilla Parade, normally the week before, so a whole all-around family feel to it, although it's definitely more of an adult only for the main parade. And then there's always some sort of festival going on. So Rib Fest, the Italian festival, Cuban festival. You can go and check out historic Ybor City. You can go downtown Tampa and check out the wharf down there with its little food trucky vendy places. It's just always something to do in Tampa. I don't think you're ever going to run out of stuff to do in Tampa, guys. And then talking about the restaurants, it's really implanted itself on the foodie map as well over recent years. Now, I don't think anything of driving down to Tampa to get good food, even though there's some great options right where I live. And if you get in and around International Mall, you've got places like Ocean Prime, you have places like Eddie V's, although it would be remiss if I didn't mention the iconic Burns Steakhouse, which has been in Tampa since the 50s and also has one of the largest private collections of wine anywhere in the US. It's a real experience to go there, although make sure you book well in advance. I had to book 90 days in advance, which is as far as you can go, just to get a table for us. And then make sure you check out the dessert room after. An experience not to be missed. We also have Michelin star restaurants in Tampa. Special shout out to Lilac, which is absolutely fantastic and has firmly put Tampa on the culinary map. And then because we're so close to the ocean, we have great fresh seafood as well. And oyster catchers is a favorite of mine. You can try tacos at one of my favorite spots, Miguelitos. You can have Donatello's Italian food. You can have lemongrass for Thai, or you can check out any of the food trucks in the area. There's a whole bevy of those as well. Why not get involved in the debate about the best pizza in Tampa? We got some great choices for that. Then you have Eulalie, Oxford Exchange, on Swan. The list goes on and on and on, guys. Any search online is going to give you a whole host of great places to try. Be sure to reach out to me for some of my favorites. So let's change the pace of conversation a little bit and talk about the weather. Now, like anywhere in Florida, it's kind of a mixed bag. So you get the beautiful mild fall and winter, and the excruciatingly hot summer with the rainfall and precipitation in the afternoon, and tropical storm and hurricane season. Now, talking about the good, which is the mild winters, you're gonna have a high of around about 71 in January and a low of about 52. So a little bit more moderate in some of the areas a little bit further north that I talk about in some of the other videos. And there's nothing quite like wearing shorts and flip-flops during those months where you see people shoveling snow on the news. Love it. And like I said, my favorite time of year is kind of October through till March. It's so pleasant. Sport coat weather a couple of times. Really, really a delight. But if you have to have that, guess what? You have to put up with some of the other stuff as well. So I've been in Florida now for 19 years. So I could swear that every single year, it starts getting hotter earlier in the year. It stays hotter for longer, and it seems hotter at its peak. So July has a high average of 90 and a low average of 71, but the humidity makes it feel unbearable at times. It can feel like 104, 105, or even higher, and there's quite often weather warnings and heat advisories. And then in contrast to that, you have the humidity building, and then that causes the afternoon storms. And I'm sure you've seen on the news, we have hurricanes as well. Mostly just tropical storms, but they do turn into hurricanes. However, I will tell you that Tampa, knock on wood, has not seen a severe one in about 104 years. I'm sure it will happen one day. Just be aware of that. But the weather in the summer is pretty brutal, guys. So if you don't like the extreme heat or have difficulty with it, you're gonna wanna know that ahead of time. Now, I always say, of course, it beats the snow, pick your poison, but that doesn't have to be your opinion as well. I'm just bringing you the facts so you know exactly what you're dealing with before you get here. And then finally, I wanna talk about the healthcare, because I think that's important for anybody, but Tampa really shines in this area as well. So unfortunately, I've had experience of a number of the local places, but they've always been fantastic, and some of them rank among the best in the country. So Tampa General Hospital is absolutely fantastic. Moffitt Cancer Center is one of the best cancer centers anywhere. The people there are so friendly. I've had family members and friends have to take advantage of that place, and it's phenomenal. St. Jude's Children's Hospital, also absolutely phenomenal. And then they have great VA services as well. So definitely from a healthcare front, we've got you pretty well covered there in Tampa. And then like I've also mentioned, the cost of healthcare in general is about 20% lower than the national average. So how can you beat that deal? All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap it up. If you like what you hear about Tampa and you wanna make it your next home, you know who to reach out to. We help, like I said, 200 families a year, and all of the information you need to contact us is in the link in the description down below. And also don't forget to ask for a list of preferred homes in different areas and price points that you think might be applicable to you. Now, if you're not quite ready to take the next step or you want to learn more, you can check out some of our other videos like the pros and cons, like the video tour of Tampa to give you a better feel for it, or you can watch any of the other videos that we have about some of the suburbs as well. As always, guys, I want to thank you for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'm Ross Hardy from the Hardy team. It's time to love where you live.